Yeah. Again, with this being a bit odd in its presentation.
We are aboard. Humans.
Yeah, they've just explained off all the Marines and Elites having left the Ark by getting on the Shadow of Intent. With the exception of the Master Chief, the Arbiter, and Sergeant Johnson,
Johnson, do you have
who
the
for
frigate?
some reason
Yes, ma'am.
are entrusted with getting rid of the current largest threat in the universe,
Safe is better than close.
and no one else. They're not even sending that squad of Elites that was with us before.
It's good to have you back.
I guess if we were playing co-op, the other two Elites would be here, but whatever. The guy who wrote fucking, or who wrote part of the storage project, I don't know if he was the lead writer on it, or the only writer, or whatever, for Project Wingman, also is fucking doing a Halo Mass Effect crossover
Halo.
story in his spare
So
time.
new,
It's pretty interesting.
unfinished. I'm not exactly sure what will happen when we fire it.
It's called All the Stars. I highly recommend reading it. It's very good. Something something John Varley. Oh, weird. Oh right, I forgot you start with that. I could punch the Arbiter until he fucking... Yeah, fuck it. Hey, Arbiter, get over here. Ah. Okay.
Head through the cliffs.
There we go. Oh shit. I didn't think that through. Let's try that again, but with less stupidity. But anyway, you can give the Arbiter whatever fucking weapon you want, as long as it's next to him when he fucking gets back up. Let's try that again, but less stupid. There we go. Sick. That's exactly what I wanted. Alright. Now do pick up something I actually want to use. Okay, that should be good. Despite there not having been nearly this many weapons on the...
Head through the cliffs.
Yeah, I know. Shut up, Cortana. On the fucking Pelican when we came here the first time. But, you know, whatever. I remember when I first played... Also, I just saw them pop in. When I first played Halo 3, I was blown away by the fact that the icicles, like, broke off if you shot or hit them. It's obviously not anywhere near as significant now. Especially since it doesn't look particularly good either. But I thought it was cool. If nothing else. There's also the final skull in the game, which is the easiest by far to obtain and least hidden, I would say. Even iron on the first level is more hidden than this one. I believe this is mythic. No, is it? Yeah, because Thunderstorm's the other one. This is mythic, I think. But yeah.
Control room isn't far.
It's the skull that most people usually find first, ironically enough. Unless they happen upon the others. It's not
Where
like
are
the
you
skulls in
going?
Halo 2 where you have to try real fucking hard to find those.
Wait, what's that?
Yep, this is also one of the first terminals people find in the game. And Cortana's got little remark about, hey, maybe you should go look for them. Oh, weird. They added control options. Okay. These terminals are basically like what they made the entirety of Halo 4 out of, except Halo 4 fucked up the story even more. I do like Halo 4, but they could have tried a little harder. Because there's so much cool stuff in here. This reminds me a lot of Metroid Prime, if that makes sense to anyone. I feel like that makes enough sense. You get your message between the Didact and the Librarian, which would then completely be disregarded in Halo 4. Like, all this cool stuff, like, there used to be cool stuff in goddamn Halo 2 where you had to play the goddamn soundtrack backwards to get lore details and stuff like that. And there was like ARG things on the websites and all this cool stuff. It's like, that's just completely absent from the series now. I mean, yeah, there's a handful of things like that, but it's never as detailed or interesting.
Did you think me defeated?
Flood dispersal pods. Control room's at the top of that tower, Chief. Go!
But yeah, the fact that you can destroy the Flood by just shooting it with normal bullets kind of completely undersells the threat. Like, I want it to turn into a fucking, like, giant Resident Evil or fucking Dark Souls monster, like, when I poke it once. Like, I want it to be an insurmountable threat that, like, I either expend massive amounts of firepower fighting, or I fucking, like, end up, like, being forced to outmaneuver, you know? Like, I like the idea that the Flood here walks slowly because it can afford to, because it's, like, there's basically an infinite amount of it, but it also makes it extraordinarily non-threatening, because in Halo 3, the Flood is completely non-threatening the vast majority of the time. Like, I can loosely spray assault rifle bullets at it and be completely confident in my ability that it will eventually go down after, like, maybe 8 seconds of fire. Less if I'm actually tapping the trigger. It's like, I know that the Flood were really, really annoying to fight in Halo 1 and 2 because they never ever stopped attacking you, and they had really long melee range and, like, bunches of other really annoying things. But they didn't need to make it this easy. More rocket ammo over here. Oh, it's a fuel rod. I don't think I want that. I would really appreciate it if you didn't do that. Oh, wow, they added an invisible wall so you can't climb up that. That's stupid. Why does fucking 343 have to do shit like that? That invisible wall was not there in the original game. You could totally just walk up the fucking thing. That kind of shit that pisses me off. It's like, preserve the game in its original form, bugs included. Everyone would be pissed if they removed super bouncing from Halo 2. I'm not even a speedrunner and I'm getting upset about that kind of shit. Because I am playing on Heroic this time. Ammo. Works for me. You could be a little more careful than that. Oh, I didn't even see you
covered,
guys.
Chief. Meet you at the top of that tower.
He said not providing any cover whatsoever. Because I can't tell how much of this is just 343's really bad port. I hate that. If you throw a grenade at them right as they're finishing their transformation, it doesn't fucking stay. It just disintegrates for some fucking reason. God forbid, you know,
You moving,
consistency.
Chief? I got your back.
Anyway, but yeah, Johnson's not nearly as useful in this version of the game. It's unfortunate, but true. You need to be way more careful than you are.
Blood are crawling all over that tower. Watch yourself.
You know, I had a Banshee. I feel like all I do when I play Halo is complain nowadays, and that's really unfortunate because it still continues to be one of my favorite series of all time, but my god, there's just so much to complain about these days. When I put up my Halo Infinite thing, I'm literally going to title it the fucking Halo Infinite Complainathon. Because, yes, I will acknowledge that I do sound like a whiny bitch for 99% of my playthrough of that game, but I do also feel slightly justified. If my voice was less annoying, I wouldn't even fucking call it out, but my voice is really annoying, so, you know, eh. Thank you, Keith David. It's not even that 343 is incapable of making good Halo content, it's just that for some reason, they don't. I don't know why, but they don't. It's weird.
Just as soon as you dispose of our proximate blood prints. I'm afraid contamination protocols do not allow for...
Yeah, I hear you.
Was that the Monitor? You didn't tell me he was here.
Yeah, I don't tell you a lot of things.
Well, we are finally doing what he wanted.
Hello, Johnson. How you doing? You doing alright? You doing good? You adequate? I need to kill you for a second.
Hold your fire.
What does it take to fucking kill you? Huh. Sorry about that. Eh. Okay, is this infinite? No, it isn't.
Friendly fire, dumbass. Hold your fire. I'm on your side. Same team.
Oh, weird. Huh. No infinite Spartan laser for me, I guess. Ugh, fuck these things. Yeah, I don't know. It does kind of suck when I go to do like a tried and... What the fuck just happened? A tried and true, like, fucking fun gameplay thing, and then it just doesn't happen because 343's messed with the thing so much. It's a little disheartening, I suppose, is the word. Man, those fucking Sentinel things are just useless, aren't they? I don't even think they aim at, like, the enemy correctly. How come his melee does so much more than mine?
Not for long.
Yeah,
I'm tracking
whatever.
additional dispersal pods. They'll be hitting any minute.
Okay, is it 3 doors? This is also a much more... See, this is a design, like, overhaul that I like. This is much more interesting than Halo 1's doors. But it's also not, like, completely fucked. Johnson should pop into existence in, yeah, 2
Do I
seconds.
take life or get it? Who is victim?
No, I don't think you
and
get
who?
to pretend that you're the good guy here.
It's
You're
trying to
clearly
rebuild
evil.
itself on this ring.
Why did that door close? Why was it open to begin with? That's a bit weird. Okay, can I do the thing? He's game to my plan. Oh, wow, is he programmed to run away when that happens? So that it fucks up the timing? That's interesting. He has to, that has to be programmed. Yep, there he is. See him? Oh, I thought he was gonna start shooting at me.
Yank me, Chief.
Hey now. She said that in Halo 1 as
I'm
well,
not
back
gonna
when she was
lose her,
pretending to
too.
be British. Yeah, that was always a weird thing, how Cortana was supposed to be British. Also, in the fucking Halo TV show, they've decided to make Halsey British
Wonderful
for
news. The installation is
some
almost
reason.
complete.
Terrific.
Yes, isn't it?
Still played by Jen Taylor,
Have
and we've
we
got our
done my
Flesh Tana.
simulations? No promises, but initial results.
God,
indicate
that show
this
is
facility
embarrassingly
should be ready to
terrible.
fire in just a few more days.
Even
We
the
don't
costumes
have a
don't
few
look
more
that great.
days.
But a premature
I
firing
think
will
it should get the
destroy the
award
ark.
for least
with it.
accurate to source material adaptation I have ever seen. There's that whole big argument I had with a person about resemblant adaptations and accurate adaptations, and that
Protocol dictates action.
by
I see
changing
no
the
man helping
medium,
was wrong.
you by definition lose accuracy, but you can still have it resemble its source material even more so than something in the same medium that is like a remastered version.
You are Forerunner. But
It's a whole
this
big argument
ring
that I don't have time to
is
recap right now,
mine.
but fucking the Halo show is neither of those two things. Like, embarrassingly so.
I
Also,
take
this is
no
the worst
pleasure
boss
in
fight that's ever existed. Not because it's hard. It isn't. It's easy. It's not even a fight. But it's so pathetic, especially since this was supposed to end cap the Halo series. I'm glad it's not the last thing that happens in the game, because that would have just been sad. Thank you. On Legendary, though, that beam kills you in like one hit and sucks. He's like, he's not even aiming at you.
Accept your
If you let him talk, he has some fucking like jokey dialogue lines, but I don't think I care enough to do that. Anyway, Johnson's dead. It's all very stupid. He probably even shouldn't even have died from that, given that it looks like his armor blocked almost all of it. I guess the thermal energy is what kills him. Why is my game broken? Did the game just fucking crash? Jesus Christ. I'll be back in a second. Man, I love Halo 3's, or fucking 343's goddamn port. Isn't it great? Look how functional it is.
I'm getting you out of here.
Although I do appreciate it actually resuming at the fucking cutscene. I was kind of worried I would have to play the whole level over again. Not that it took that long, but I don't like redoing things on principle.
Send me out. With a bang.
God damn it, Marty. Also, that chip clearly cannot actually fit inside the Master Chief's helmet. Can we talk about that for a second? It's not even fucking the same size as the slot on the back of his helmet. That's like a fucking GameCube memory card. Actually, probably bigger given how big the Master Chief's hands are. That's like almost the size of a fucking floppy disk. I mean, look at that. It just sort of clips into the back of his head. There's your wallpaper, etc. Although there's a giant fucking scoring thing on the side of it, so not exactly... And his body just lists to the side, because no respect. Did it save me having done the thing where Sergeant Johnson is alive? That would have been cool. I don't think it did, though.
I am sorry, Spot.
Yeah. Save it for later. Wow, I didn't even get a chance to save him, huh? Fuck me, I guess. Well, Sergeant Johnson is now Flood. I tried to prevent this from happening. Unfortunately, there is no saving Sergeant Johnson. Sorry. Welp. This has been an exercise in stupidity. What happened to the rocket launcher I gave you? Why does the Halo series feel the need to reset whatever weapon I'm holding at any given moment? I guess that's the one thing I don't dislike about Halo Infinite, is that, as far as I can tell, if you pick up a weapon in that game, you fucking have that weapon until you don't. There are no arbitrary subtractions from your fucking
We
inventory.
still have a chance.
Although, ammunition capacities are still pitifully small, because 343 appears to have not learned their lesson in that regard, and that people don't like it when you take away the amount of active bullets they can carry at any given moment. Also, yeah, what the fuck? Did they okay, is that the fucking solution they've fucking done? Is that they've spawned a bunch of fucking infection forms here? Because I swear, like, back when I used to play the game, there would only be, like, what the fuck? 1 or 2 infection forms, like, maximum. Didn't he have a battle rifle? What? Yeah, okay, whatever, I don't care. This is stupid. There would only be, like, 1 or 2 infection forms that would come with those guys. And you could totally bring him to the end of the level. That's not what I was gonna do, I just wanted to show off how the fucking thing works, but... apparently, I'm not allowed to enjoy myself. Yeah, my brother has the fucking laser tag versions of these things. They're cool, but he's missing parts from them, so they're not, like, complete. I wanted to buy some on eBay because I always wanted them, because they're cool, and I like having laser
We
tag
still have a
stuff, because
chance.
laser tag is cool. But, they're super rare, and I wasn't able to find it. Like, it's not that I wasn't able to find any for a cheap price, it's I wasn't able to find any at all. So I think if there were going to be some available, they're not going, like, I would have to talk to a specific person who has some. I can't just, there aren't any available on the internet, like, for general sale, which sucks, but, I mean, yeah, it's been, like, what, 15 years? I can at least understand that even if I don't enjoy the fact. Because it was the plasma pistol and the fucking plasma rifle. Actual size to Halo... I think
that doorway
Halo
further
1,
on? Get to
actually,
it.
because when you load up the plasma, when you load up the laser guns, they use sound bites from Halo 1, specifically Blood Gulch, because you can hear the birds chirping and the weird, like, haze and the crickets that you hear when you load up Blood Gulch in Halo 1. And it literally goes like, Slayer. because that's the default setting. It's pretty cool, but it's also little tiny different. It's like how I would loaded up that special like 20th anniversary Cortana controller that I got, and the fucking video it plays in the center is just like redone. It's just cutscenes from the game, and that you can even see UI elements in it, which is again a little lazy. I know I shouldn't like complain about that, especially since it was relatively cheap for a custom controller, but still, for its price
There,
and
Johnson's
fucking
Warthog.
general like commemorative status, I
Spartan,
feel
go,
like it should
go,
be a
go!
little bit more, you know, detailed than that. Also, the cord it came with absolutely sucks and disconnects frequently, which is annoying, to say the least, because I believe it is a specific cord that you would have to, I would have to purchase more from Hyperkin in order to fucking use the controller, because it doesn't have any wireless functionality. I don't know why. It is a completely wired controller. I'm glad the cord at least is replaceable, because if it were non-replaceable, I guess that would be a waste of the money I spent on it, because I super cannot fucking use it without the cord. But I can get a new one. It's not even like a micro or a mini. It's like some controller-specific cord. It's probably whatever Microsoft's equivalent of the flash cable is, but I haven't done enough research to check, because when was the last time I bought an Xbox controller? Like, or an Xbox One controller at any rate. Like, 2014, 2015, when I bought a second controller so I could do local co-op stuff. God damn it. So much for making it clean, but hey, I guess they fucked that up for me already. What with the game crashing. Also, this area is very similar to a location in Marathon, which is kind of cool. Also, it got a cool skybox. There's your wallpaper. I mean, it would be a wallpaper. I guess if you could isolate the skybox, you could have that as your wallpaper. I did have a fucking Halo 3 wallpaper on my PC for like, I don't know, 8-9 years. I currently, the PC I'm recording this on, I'm playing this on Xbox One, but the PC it's exporting the footage to has my Halo Custom Edition wallpaper from HaloMaps.org. If that website ever shuts down, I'm gonna be genuinely upset. I still visit it relatively regularly to check to see what new stuff is on, and there's usually always something. I mean, yeah, it's not as common as like back in the day, but there's still usually one or two new things worth looking at. Maybe one day I'll do like a read through and show like how the website is. It hasn't changed at all in like 15 years. Not even being like sarcastic or ironic, it literally has not changed at all. It's been unchanged in its layout and functionality for like the better part of its existence. And it's been around since what, 2004? It also has portal maps on it for some reason, which is a bit weird. There was a really cool Metroid Prime style multiplayer map that replaced all of the fucking player characters' models and their like, and they had an inbuilt model weapon of like the fucking Buster that has like, if you press the weapon switch button, it changes between like missiles and beam and stuff, and it's really fucking cool. And for some reason, the version that's in the tunnels doesn't exist anymore. Like, I can't find it. I can find the one that's the landing site where her ship is, but I can't find the one that's like inside the tunnels. If anyone can like link me to that, I'd really appreciate it, because it's a really cool map. I have it installed on my old PC, but I don't know if I could boot it up. I have all my old laptops in a cabinet in my room, and most of them are like physically damaged, like they're missing like connective bits around the screen, or they're like got smashed in parts on the side, because my laptops kind of got used until they didn't work anymore. And by didn't work anymore, I mean like physically be incapable of being used. And even though they will still boot up and you put a battery in them, but I don't know how effective it would be. There's a bunch of favorites like bookmarked and stuff I want to pull off them if I ever get the chance, but I'd have to find adapters that work for the power cords and stuff. It always seems like too much work for the amount that I would get out of it. Oh my god, I hate these fucking things. Also, this map is Danger Island, or I guess great. Fucking, the Silent Cartographer from Halo 1, if you were to look at the layout, it's way, way too fucking big, but it is the layout of the map. Which is cool, if a little weird, because that implies that the fucking control room is right next to the Silent Cartographer, which, yeah, those levels are one after another, but that's not where they are physically. Like, those places are on different sides of the ring. Like, the amount of walking you do in alone between those two missions, never mind the fact that you took a Pelican to get there. They're not that close to one another. There's the Forward Unto Dawn. Fun fact, all the frigates in this game use the same fucking model, which is why they all say Forward Unto Dawn on the side of them. With the exception of the Aegis Fate from the multiplayer. But wasn't Sandtrap a fucking DLC map? If I remember correctly. I think it might have been. I might be wrong about that. I'd have to check in a fucking updated version of Halo 3's disc to see if it comes with it by default. I feel like they shouldn't have shut down the Halo 3 servers, or the Halo servers in general for all the previous games. It's not like Halo 2 where the Xbox original like service was getting shut down. With fucking the other Halo games, it's like they should still have functioned. I know they weren't performing server maintenance, which is why those games are super laggy and broken, like Halo 4 especially. But I feel like those should have stayed up until the 360's servers get shut down. And they could reasonably have switched them to the Xbox One servers, considering how many Xbox 360 games are on the Xbox One, and hopefully will still remain usable on the Xbox One.
Got it, Chief.
There's nothing I hate more than discontinuing functional products. Hey, and it's actually at a height that makes sense. It used to be you would jump over the thing and you would clearly not actually be able to make it, but because you hit the fucking flag, then a cutscene would start. Also, if you play this mission in a Ghost or a Mongoose, it will also be in the cutscene, which is pretty cool. It won't be in this part of the cutscene, but it will be in the part where you jump. If you're playing 4-player, one of you is required to be on another vehicle, which I always thought was kind of weird, but like, they could have solved that by just putting the troop carrier hog here. Like, this could have been the one part in the game where you actually get to, like, have a reason for using it. But I guess not. Actually, I don't think the multiplayer characters can sit in the back of the troop carrier hog anyway in this version of the game, so I suppose it doesn't matter that much. This is also very cool looking. And the only reason this shot, like, this stuff is happening right now is so that we can get this cool shot right here of him standing up in front of the fucking Halo firing, because that's metal as hell. Also, no explanation for why the Ark isn't completely destroyed in fucking Halo Wars 2, but fuck it, I guess.
We'll make it.
Also, the terminals in that view of the command terminal in the front of the frigate is exactly the same as it is in Halo 2, because you can see the orbital stations surrounding Earth on the computer terminals. It's just a reused asset, if I remember correctly. I hate the fact that these... In the original version of Halo 3, it would just immediately play the cutscene with no loading necessary.
For us, the storm has passed. The war is over.
It is always weird how, like,
But
this version of
those who
Lord
journey
Hood
into the
is
howling
clear.
dark
Also, wow, those
did
things
not
are
return.
downscaled even more.
For their decision required courage beyond
But yeah, this version of
measure.
Lord Hood is clearly based off of Ron Perlman, but
Sacrifice,
the one in Halo 2 Anniversary
unshakable
isn't.
conviction that their fight,
That's very bizarre.
our fight, was elsewhere.
I don't
As we
know what the
start to
thing on the
rebuild,
Arbiter's shoulder is
this
supposed to be
hillside
other than a
will
Predator
remain barren.
reference, because that's where the plasma
Memorial
caster would
to
be.
Heroes fallen. They ennobled all of us, and they shall not be forgotten.
Present! Up!
I like that Sergeant Reynolds survived. And there's Stacker over there, and I believe Chips Dubbo, as well as a bunch of other characters.
I remember how this war started.
Basically all of Zulu.
Mankind did to mine. I can't forgive them. But you have my thanks for standing
I wonder what
by
those
me.
notes actually say.
Heart to the lady's dead.
Were it so easy.
I would be terrified of that thing being around, even after the war's over. Hi, Shipmaster. That's not your name, but I have a hard time pronouncing your actual name.
Without the prophet's lies clouding my vision. I would like to see.
Isn't it great how this game ends, like, going full circle, and fucking
Fear
has
not.
all this cool, like, reconciliation
For we
and
have
stuff.
witnessed.
And it looks like it's going to
By
be,
your
you
word,
know,
Father.
if not ending, at least heading towards a completely,
Take us
like,
home.
new era of Halo. And then the fucking Halo that comes out immediately afterwards is just, like, the same thing again. I like ODST, but there wasn't a whole lot that it added that was new other than the fucking open world aspect, and it doesn't even take advantage of that. Like, quote-unquote open world. I guess non-linear gameplay is a better way to say it. And Halo Reach has so many narrative problems. And then fucking Halo 4 is good, but I wish the plot was about something else. I feel like the Forerunners actually needed less investigation, not more. Or you could have more technological stuff involving the Forerunners, but I feel like the Forerunners themselves and
Chief?
anything involving
Can you
that
hear me?
narrative should have just been completely cut from the
Thought
game.
I'd lost you too.
Like, remember how in Marathon, all the stuff involving the Jaro just never gets resolved, and you don't get any more, like, in-depth knowledge about all the ancient civilizations and whether or not Durandal is fucking successful, other than
What happened?
the fact that Halo and Destiny
sure.
both exist, and they're pretty much direct sequels to
When Halo
Marathon.
fired, it shook itself to pieces. Did a number on the arm.
Or at least,
The portal couldn't sustain
Universal
itself.
sequels.
We
'Cause,
made
I
it
mean,
through
Durandal's
just
all
as it
over
passed.
fucking Halo and Destiny. And the story in
Someone
Destiny is like almost completely a direct sequel to Marathon. At least parts of Marathon. Look at the pretty skybox. And the sequel hook that is clearly not supposed to be Halo 4's sequel hook. Or Halo 4's intro. Also 343 not understanding how big frigates are. A frigate is big enough to hold, like, 3 Pelicans and a tank. Halo 3 doesn't even understand how big the frigates are, but since when has size ever been consistent inside the Halo universe? The answer is never.
Truth.
Remember, the
Covenant,
Magnum is as large as the
blood,
fucking 6-foot man's torso,
finished.
It's finished.
because that makes sense. It's like Fable 1, where all the characters are, like,
I'll drop
hideously
Ethan.
proportioned.
It'll be a while before anyone finds us. Years even.
I also understand that there aren't very many choices, but good god, I would not trust a fucking cryopod on a fucking
When you
bisected ship in the middle of deep space. And thus, dozens of okay to really good Mass Effect crossovers were written. And a pretty decent animated film.